why I chose to go with LD97 for my 3-piece wheel setups. If that looks a little different to you than it used to, that's because I had a moral dilemma. So what's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. I have made a couple changes to the car. I'm going to show you in this video. Mainly going to be talking about my rim choice and why I chose LD97 here, where my rim journey has been the last few years between the variants and some of the other rims that I was choosing between. They're all high-priced wheels. You know, 3-piece are really expensive, so they're all high-priced. I'll go over all that stuff with you in this video. So stay tuned, and I'll catch up with you in a minute. Alright, so my 2015 Dodge Challenger SRT392 Vicrez wide body Whipple supercharged. What we're going to talk about today is why I chose to go with LD97 for my 3-piece wheel setup. So if you looked a few videos back, you saw that I went to LD97 and they measured the car out with the Vicrez kit to see kind of what offsets I'm going to need to have for the 20x11, 20x12 wheels. I'm going to explain to you why I went with LD97 and why not just variant, because I get people asking me sometimes why didn't I just go with variant, because they thought, you know, or variant was my wheel sponsor at the time, but why I didn't just go variant. Nothing wrong with variants. This is just my story. A few years ago I hit up Element Wheels. Element Wheels is who I went with my charger for my Ferrata FR4s, which I love my Ferratas. I hit up Element to get me another set of wheels for the Challenger. I was originally looking at the Vertini, I think the 1.5s, and they introduced me to Variant Wheels and told me, hey, Variant's looking for, you know, some partial sponsorship cars, and if I'd be interested in a partial sponsorship with Variant. I was like, hell yeah. So they sold me the 10-spoke Variant wheels. You can look back at my previous videos to see what that fitment looked like, and you know, I liked them. They were great and everything. I said, hey, do me a solid on pricing on these wheels, and keep me in mind for 3-piece, man, because I'm gonna be coming later. And they're like, yeah, we got you. So some time goes by, I hit up Springfest, and you know, kind of everybody's got variants at that time. I actually got hit up by Vertini and Rohana, and they both offered me full sponsorships for their new wheels that were coming out at the time, because it was for, I think, the local car scene show down in LA. So they offered me a full sponsorship. The difference between full sponsorship and partial sponsorship, in case you didn't know, at least from my experience, is full sponsorship is free product, partial sponsorship is discounted. Okay, so my variant sponsorship was partial. I got Rohana and Vertini for full sponsorships, and I was like, man, I was still under contract with Variant because it is an actual written contract. So hit up Variant. I'm like, hey guys, opportunity came up for some, you know, free wheels. What is it going to cost me to get out of this contract? And they're like, well, why do you want to go? And I said, well, you know, free wheels is free wheels, right? So, and they're like, oh man, don't leave. We'll give you a discount on our new wheels. They're coming out, the Xenons, which were the ones I had previous to these. And I was like, how good of a deal? And they're like, well, we can't give them to you free, but you know, we can give them to you at a good deal. And I was like, okay, well, what's that? And it ended up being somewhere around like $800, I think, for the Xenons. So then I was in a moral dilemma, right? I try to be honest about everything. If you've watched my videos, you know that I try to stay true to myself, stay honest. I had a moral dilemma. So at that point, I was either going to take a free set of wheels or pay $800 or $900 for the Xenons from Variant and stay with Variant. So if you know, I mean, you should already be able to tell, I ended up paying the $800 or $900 and I got my Xenons. We came to kind of a verbal agreement over the phone. I was like, hey man, I'm gonna pay for these wheels, just remember me when it comes down to 3-piece. Remember me, right? Yeah man, we got you. We're gonna hook you up with some 3s. And I was like, all right, cool, well shit, you know, I'll do it. Let me go ahead and get the Xenons. So I bit the bullet, paid the money, got the Xenons. Fast forward, did the wide body kit, and in the market now for a 3-piece. So I hit up Variant for a 3-piece, just like we discussed. I actually hit up, I think 3 or 4. I hit up Variant, LD97, RSV Forged, and Rohana. I hit up those companies for wheels. Similar style wheels. Stay tuned for the future LD97 to see what style it is, but I hit all of them up for the same basic wheel setup. So I started corresponding with them. RSV Forged actually has the exact wheel that I wanted, but too much. Their price for a partial sponsorship wheel was like $8,000. While I'm corresponding on IG with them, I also got a message back from LD97, and LD97 said somewhere around the $6,000 to $7,000 mark. So that was more reasonable. Obviously, it was a different wheel setup, but than the exact wheel that I want. But it's my second favorite wheel, and for the price, it's fantastic. So, and then I got a message back from Rohana, and Rohana told me about the same, about $6,000 to $7,000. So I had those prices all in mind, right? And then I went ahead and got my Variant DM responded to, and they basically told me around $6,500, and $6,500 is pretty much around what a partial sponsorship with another company. And to be honest, I kind of wanted to just try something different. You know, I like to mix the car up, as you can tell. I change the car up all the time. So I didn't want to get my third set of variants. I want to try a different wheel, you know, see, you know, try different stuff out. It's good to try new things, right? So I went ahead and you know, started entertaining LD97 and Rohana, and then, you know, while corresponding with them, LD97 offered me a partial sponsorship at a discounted price. Can't tell you how much, but they gave me a good deal on the rims I'm looking for. I went ahead and signed up with LD97, and you know, it's been taking some time to get the wheels together, keeping in mind that, you know, parts for car companies are kind of coming slow because of COVID and stuff, things being shut down and open back up. So I'm aware of that, so I'm being conscious of, you know, those things when I'm thinking, hey man, I want my wheels. But it has been, I think, since March since I ordered them, and we're at the manufacturing phase right now. So, and then another reason why I chose the LD97s is because they're a California based company. They do a lot of car shows and stuff in Cali. So I'd like to be able to maybe participate in some of their booth stuff if they you know, throw me the invite in the future. They have tons of badass cars, but a lot of really nice Mopars with premium fitment, man. Premium fitment. So their fitment game has always been on point from what I see from, you know, IG and stuff. Main reasons there. I would say if you're choosing a rim company, it's always, you know, something good to consider. If you could, you know, check the rim company out so they can check your measurements. If not, and you choose a rim setup, it's always good to just, you know, do your research and check their photos and tags out to see if people have, you know, got some good results from them. Because, you know, there's some, it depends on what you're going for. But for me, I wanted to maximize the wheels coming out to the flares, as much wheels as I could get, and then concave. So the wheels I'm getting are going to have some concave, a lot of concave in them. They're going to be a 20 by 12, 20 by 11, but it's good to get somebody to really measure that out, because, you know, if you're going for a specific look, you need the rim to be measured a specific way. You're dropping a lot of money on some badass wheels. You want to really make sure that you do your research and you get them spec'd out the way you want to, because you don't want to drop all that money and end up not liking something about them. So I've been waiting a couple years now to get three-piece, and I'm finally at that point. So super stoked. That looks a little different to you than it used to. That's because I threw a 25 millimeter spacer on the back. So prior I had 15 millimeters, and if you watch my LD97 video, he said that I have room for another 10 millimeters. So I was like, screw it, I might as well see if I can fit a, you know, total of 25 millimeters more. So I bought 25 millimeter spacers, and this is the result. So that's pretty maxed out. I can't fit any more. The point of contact is actually right there, and it just clears it. I don't know if that's focusing, but just clears it. I had to actually Dremel some of the top of the flare off, so this is all really thin now. There's nothing left for me to be able to take off. So depending on the tire setup I go with, you know, I won't have any issues. That fitment's killer, man. And this wheel is like so concave, it looks like so good. The fronts, I didn't do anything different, so that's still just the 15mm spacers. But you can see that tucks in quite a bit. Their measurements that they gave me were still for another 8 to 10mm out, so this will be coming out farther. Obviously just not as aggressive as the rears. If you notice, I don't know if you can tell or not. Sorry, the car's dirty. If you see like smudging or something, that's because the car is dirty. I haven't cleaned it or washed it yet. Do you see a difference? Let me know if you see a difference. If you watched my last video, you saw that I told you the difference between an OEM and Vicrez kit or aftermarket kit is this fender line right here. So this fender line from OEM drops straight down, just like it does there. But the Vicrez kit, this is all material. So what I did, you see that? I put some tape and I plasti dipped it. I ordered vinyl, but it didn't get here as soon as I wanted to do this. So I plasti dipped it, and I'm gonna throw some kind of like a sealer on top of the plasti dip, and it's a protective film to protect it from anti-scratching and marring and stuff. I actually used to have it on my antenna, and it was a pain in the ass to get it off. So it really hardens the plasti dip. I mean, it's still manageable, but it hardens it so well that it should withstand, you know, the debris and stuff that the tires are gonna throw at it. If not, then I'll just throw the vinyl on it because the vinyl's coming anyways. But yeah, I threw plasti dip to make that line look like a fender line, more OEM, right? Finished it off on this side too. So this bracket that's right here, you can't see it, especially in pictures where it was showing up, it was bugging me. So I went ahead and did it all the way around. See there too, on this side. So if you're looking at it, it just looks like a fender line, like an OEM wide body. Cause I'm a poser. Did that all the way around. So to the eye, you know, unless you're getting in there and looking, it looks fine. Plus the wheels in the back I kicked out farther with that 25mm, so you see it even less now. But it was bothering me, especially that big piece. Like you could really see it in pictures, but now, nope. So a little trick for my Vicrez or aftermarket wide body people out there. And if you pick up anything from me, from my videos, I'd appreciate it if you guys do me a shout on IG, either a story or something like that. Makes me feel good about making these videos and that I'm helping people. So if you pick up any tips, tricks, or do's and don'ts from me, appreciate any shout outs on IG. I'll shout you back for that. So, but that's gonna do it for this one. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Peace.